How you doing, friends? This is Coach Ernie, and it is Monday morning. It's Monday, July 14th, and I'm sitting in a beautiful little cabin up here in the Northeast. I'm right outside Bar Harbor. We'll be here just for a few more hours. We've been here all weekend, and then we're going to head up to Calais, which is the border town between the United States and Canada. We'll be crossing over and going up to St. John, where we'll spend a couple of days, and then from there we're on our way back, not back, but even further north, going to Prince Edward Island, where we'll spend about 5 days or so, and then come all the way back here to Bar Harbor, and then back to home base. So that's my itinerary, just so you're wondering. Anyways, this morning. So all of my reports will be done from different places and different locations. It's actually quite nice up here. We have been looking at the forecast, and it looks like the weather has been so-so, but it's ended up fairly nice. So we're happy about that. Let's get to the market reports. It'll be short because we have to pack up and get out of here, being this the last day. The VIX is up at 17.5, and it has now slipped into the Goldilocks zone again. It was in zombie land last week, up about 6%, probably because of tariff jitters. They cooled on Friday's close. No data drops today. In other words, no economic reports. But with the CPI on deck tomorrow, could this quiet open mask bigger trade tensions? Tune in as we unpacked. Tune in? Who the hell says that? As we update the weekend macro and map structural levels and reflect on convex plays without the chase. Who the hell is writing this stuff? So anyways, the markets are mulling over a tariff hangover from Friday. VIX is up, as I said, to 17.5 or 6% on Trump's Canada threats. That's what I believe it is anyways. 35% duties are hinted. Trimming gains, the Dow is off by 0.6% to 44,371. Man, I remember the days when the Dow was under 10,000 or less, under 5,000. And the S&P is down 0.3% to 6260. Volume clustered at the highs. We're sitting right at all-time highs. This is a compression signal currently with this little pullback, not any kind of crash, by the way. There are no real reports this morning, but Empire Manufacturing later and Fed talks midday, Bowman at 9:15 globally, and the BRICS aftermath stirs trade fragilities. Asia previews, Japan orders, Singapore, and the GDP add layers. Let's see. Who the hell wrote this? I didn't read any of this before going on here. I just took it and threw it up on the iPad. Tension, control versus flow bias. Recency on that dip. We need to fire this this writer here for this morning. But the important thing is, does it sound okay, and do I look okay? That's all. It's really all that really matters. But anyways, let's get on to our market report. Let's see if we can manage that. No, that's not where we want to go. We don't want there. We want there. There we go. Yep, things aren't working perfectly this morning because I wasn't totally prepared. But as we can see, here's our VIX at 17.4, just sitting just above the Goldilocks zone. Let's take a look at the structural levels today. Yeah, this isn't working quite like it is at home, but that's okay. So it looks like some of our important structural levels So here's today's opening with the blue lines. And I have this guy mapped off here on the ES at 62.78. We'll likely see a bounce off of that. So if you're looking for 0 DTE trades, we're looking for a bounce here. It seems to have been an important level over the past several days. As you can see, it has found support there several times. And then the gap up area is right up here. These green lines typically indicate the bottom of probably the node that's way up here. Let's see. Let's see if we can bring this all into view here. Oh, yes. So let's go out a little bit more. Oh, it looks like we're going to have to go out even further. Let's go out to an hour. And auto fit. There we go. All right. So, yeah, as you can see, we've been bouncing off this area quite a bit, and we're pulled back just a little bit, but still well within. I think if we get rid of all these lines, you can see it a little bit better. So here we are, all-time highs. Is that a double top? I don't know. But I suspect that even though we've gapped down for this weekend, I expect that we'll move up. So really, this is a little bit easier to see. I haven't had a chance to look at these structural levels, but we seem to have a good base here at 62.67, and also here, which I mentioned earlier, at 62.78. Actually, on this chart, it looks like more like 62.77, right around there. And from there, we have a low volatility, a low liquidity area right above it until we get to this top knot node, which starts at 62.80. So it's just only a few points. So we shouldn't make too much. You could probably treat this entire area here as one singular node, but that's the nature of being at all-time highs. We don't have a lot of historical volume to go by to see whether or not we're going to have strong support resistance characteristics. So we have to take what we have. And so right now it looks like 62, 61, 68, and 78 are the key levels. And then this little crack here and probably right here is a strong resistance level at 62.96. And then finally at breakout territory for all-time highs would be 63.10. So we'll see if we can move our way up there today. All right. So what else do we have to look at? This is the SPX. As you can see, we're reaching for all new highs. A little bit of a pause here, maybe what some people might call a double top. I don't believe that's what we have there. Where's Tesla? Tesla is also advancing this morning because I believe they're expanding their robotaxi deployment, both in Austin and in other areas. They're looking at San Francisco and Arizona. There's also talk of Grok. Well, Grok is the big news, really, Grok 4. And it will be coming to every Tesla reportedly this week. Unfortunately, I'm not home to be able to experience that on my Tesla, so I'll have to wait until I return. But I think my son's using my car, so he'll have to give me a report on what that's like. All right, so that's about that. Not much else to report other than I'm having a great time here. Let's go back to the big head. And I'll have a more robust report, I think, for tomorrow once we're settled in. This morning is a little bit of a mishmash because, hey, we got here on Friday. We've been, perusing all over the place. We were hiking in Acadia National Park, which was fantastic, enjoying lobster dinners and that sort of thing. Of course, we're up in Bar Harbor. And so that's what you have to do when you're up here. I've never been to the border town of Calais, so if you have any ideas about that, or St. John, so we're going to spend some time there, and then, like I said, then go up to Prince Edward Island. We have a beautiful place right on the water. So I'm looking forward to that as well. All right. So now that you've got my vacation itinerary, I hope you're all hanging in there. I think it's going to be a relatively quiet week, maybe going for new highs. We shall see. All right. That's it. A little bit discombobulated this morning, but thank you very much. Coach Ernie is out.